Hello, my little geese. Welcome back to my channel. This is Shamily, and I know it's been forever, but I really wanted to tour my island today. It's an island that took me forever to complete. Her name is Sandy Close, and I just wanted to show it to you. So let's waste no more time and dive into it. So, this island is a Nightmare Before Christmas themed, but it's not completely based as a translation of the movie, if you understand what I mean. It's more of an inspiration where I really wanted to mix the Christmas and the Halloween vibes, like I just did here, a lot of pumpkins, a lot of Christmas decoration, gifts, reindeers, Christmas trees. This is really all that I wanted to mix and go for. So this is just my entrance. There is nothing spectacular or to mention about it, except that I really love that little snowman item because it looks creepy, it looks mean, and it felt like something Jack would have built. And maybe I should show you the map and the villager who I picked for this island. So we have Lucky, who is supposed to be Jack Skellington, then Stitches, who is Sally, and then we have a few random witches and villagers, so Cube, Fang, Ione, Shino, and Kiki, because I really love them and they have these creepy, spooky vibes, and so on. Then we have Nibbles and Static, who are both like the Oogie Boogie's children. So Locket, and Beryl, or something like that. I forgot their names. To be to be fair, I forgot their names in English. But there are three children that help him. So I couldn't find a third squirrel that would match the vibe. So I went with Nibbles and Static because they had this kid core vibes, a bit mischievous vibe, the little grin, and something about them made me think like they would be like the help from Oogie Boogie. And then, of course, there is Olivia, who is Oogie Boogie himself. And this island took me 3 years to finish. So I'm gonna show you the whole island, but it really took me so long, even though I took breaks in between, but still 3 years. I think it's the longest I've worked on an island. So we arrive at the plaza and we have Lucky, hi! And we arrive at the entrance of the little campsite, just sitting by itself, chilling. I really didn't have an inspiration about a campsite. It's also one of the first build I did, so I was not too yet in the theme. Then I was a bit struggling. I did not want to put too much attention because it didn't make sense for me on this island. The beaches are also not decorated, but yeah. And I also have a little pumpkin patch. And then we arrive at a little poisoned apple shop over here. Not haunted, really poisoned. So it's like those apple candies from the fair. When you go to the fair, it's like, but it's really more nightmarish. So it's disgusting. You can see it dripping the poison. It's really the poison version of those apple candies. And it's normal because we're on a nightmarish island, so the Halloween is winning over here. Then there's the Nook's Cranny over here. I find it cute. There is nothing special going around the Nook's Cranny, but I just find it very, very cute. And then over here, there is kind of an iceberg type of build with a lot of spooky decoration. I really wanted to have this feeling that the island was cracking and slipping away. The snow season, is made for the winter and all of that. So I really wanted to have this impression that the island was just like cracking and sliding away. And then we arrive at Fang's little home. So we will see in a minute. I have a haunted toy factory as the museum, you will see. And so Fang is supposed to be the retired toy maker in my little lore story that I invented for this island. And I really wanted to have some toys in his home, like dolls, pumpkins, the little duck. If you remember in the movie, there was this little duck that had teeth and was was pursuing the children at one point when Jack goes to the Christmas town. So that's why there is duck. Plus, I love the little duck on this channel. So that's the toy maker area. And then if we backtrack a little bit, we arrive to a haunted forest. And I really try to have paths going in every direction to cover them as much as possible with decoration so you don't see where the path is going and you don't anticipate. Of course, it's an island, so at the end, it all goes to the same thing. But I have really tons of different decorations and way to arrive to a port. It's really unique, whatever path you want to take. And that's something I really love about this island. Like, this haunted forest is one of my proudest builds because it took forever to build and to make magical, but I think it looks really precious. And then we arrive at the haunted toy factory at the museum where we have all the creepy toys, the dolls, the little thingy. We have the cushion with Lucky's eyes speaking. I feel like it gave that haunted cursed dolls, not the nice toy that are coming under the tree, but really like the cursed one from the movie. And by the way, my island is a tiny little bit laggy. I have too many items. So I would love to have your feedbacks in the comments if you visited it and if it was laggy for you or if it's just my Switch that has like a little bit of trouble to handle it. And I would love to know if you're touring this on a Switch 2, if it makes a difference on the lag. So let me know in the comments, please. And then if we go back up, this is my house. I'm not going to tour it. I really made the simplest effort, but it is decorated. So the only thing that is not decorated is the basement where there is just my bed, but all the rooms, I just made like a little forest with the doors. And then there is a Christmas, Easter, and a Thanksgiving room. And then upstairs is supposed to be Jack Skellington's research room. And then we have the cemetery over here because Jack spent a long time in the cemetery, so I wanted to have one on my island. It is just a cemetery, you know. Then we passed this abandoned building over there. It was a stream that I did a while ago, and then I was really unhappy with how the house looked like. At first, my home was to be the abandoned building, but I didn't like it, so I redid it, did my best. I don't think I'm the best at doing fake buildings, so honestly, I'm still like judgmental of my build, but I think it looks better. And I feel like abandoned buildings are really hard to make look good. Then we arrive at Lucky's home, which is supposed to be Jack's area. That's why there is the little dog that is 0. And then there is a tombstone to kind of have the cemetery continuation. And then next to it is Stitch's home, of course, which is Sally. And if we go into Sally's home, I really wanted to go with the vibe of the potion making. I wanted to have the Frankenstein doctor, forgot totally his name, I'm very sorry. And I also wanted to have the Stitches. So this is why there is the sewing machine. There is the little kitchen, and you can see I added the flowers. It's supposed to be a nightshade that she used to put the doctor asleep. And then there is his little wheelchair next to the meal, and then the little doctor area to, you know, where he is doing his monsters. Then we go out and we arrive at the little cul-de-sac that there we have for our homes. It's just random spooky villagers that I really enjoyed having on my islands. Their home are fully decorated. It is cluttered. It is Halloween themed. It's not specifically Jack Skellington themed or whatever. It's just Halloween, and I loved it that way. If we backtrack, we arrive at the Able Sisters, which is a costume shops for witches and spooky creatures in general. And I realized I forgot to prepare clothing for people that will dream of the address. I'm very sorry, I already deleted the island, so I cannot change it. So prepare your spooky costume if you want to go here. I'll put my costume in the codes for it in the comments, so you can maybe take that one because it's very cute. And then if we backtrack a like tiny bit for the island, it's a weird way to tour it, but it is how I like it. We have a twirling pond. It's not in the movie, it's nowhere. But for me, Twirling Pond is very Halloweeny. I feel like spirals, it gets you into that Tim Burton universe. It feels like you're getting hypnosis or something like that. So for me, a spiral was really a spooky stuff to incorporate. Maybe I'm weird, I don't know, let me know in the comments. But that's really something I wanted to incorporate. And so that's why I have a Pond over here. And then we arrive at all the doors. So remember when Jack arrived and like is lost and he finds the Christmas door? Well, there were other doors. So of course there is the Halloween door, the Christmas door, and then there was the Turkey Day door. I did some little wheat fields to symbolize it. Then the Easter door where there is a little egg basket, and the St. Patrick's door where I totally forgot to put clovers to symbolize it, but that's okay. And then we arrive at the three children's, and in the meantime, I think I remember the name. I think it's Lock, Shock, and Barrel. I'm unsure. But those three children that love to bother Oogie Boogie, or no, not to bother him, to help him and bother the rest of the villagers. So there are two villagers that I mentioned before, and their homes is basically copies of each other, but it's basically the house where are some inspiration of how the house was in the movie. So creepy wallpaper of an attic, and then there is the bathtub because they ran away to capture the Santa Claus in the bathtub. And then there are some bugs on the floors. For Nibble, I put the boiling pot because she wants to boil. I don't remember which one is which, but the girl in the movie, she wants to boil Santa Claus. So I try to make reference to that. And then all the bugs are referencing also Oogie Boogie. Static's home is very similar, so I'm not gonna tour it twice, but feel free to inspect both of them because I spent a lot of time designing the homes. And then we arrive at Oogie Boogie's lair. I also don't mind the design because it really looks bad. I did them myself. It is really hard to make the design on the umbrella thingy. I really thought for a dice it would be so much easier. It is not. It is really horrible. And then I made, so there is this gigantic totem of dice at one point in the lair in the movie. So I tried to reproduce that. It looks really bad. I'm not a really good pixel artist, but I think it does the job. It does the job. So it's the layer. There are dices everywhere, games, gambling tables, spinning wheels that can decide your fate. I also wanted to incorporate a lot of glowing moss to give that greenish color vibe. The Oogie Boogie is one of my favorite characters from the movie. I love his songs. I really enjoy him. I find him like he's a mean but not that mean guy. I really enjoy Oogie Boogie. So I wanted to have his area something that reflected the fact that I love him more than the rest of the character. And I tried to also have a grotto for the shady underground vibes. And then the last part of the island is something I really love. It's a gigantic pumpkin. So to get a great picture, you gotta take it moving while moving the camera because it's a bit hard from that angle. It's basically crescent moon share that I used to create a pumpkin. And that's why I blocked everything so that the viewpoint was good, But I really enjoyed that little build because it's unique. I haven't seen it on too many islands. I think I've just seen it once on TikTok a while ago. So really I enjoyed that vibe. And then I did not decorate Red's area. As you can see, I haven't toured it, so there is no access to the secret beach. All the beaches are not decorated, but that's kind of it. The dream address is available if anybody wants to check it. I took picture, I also drew my map, and I'm gonna post everything on Instagram. It's under the username Hey Shamily if you want to re-see everything or find a dream address. So it's all gonna be posted over there. And yeah, take your time, visit it. Let me know in the comments what you think of this island. Don't forget to put a thumbs up on the video if you enjoyed the island. And I hope to see you soon in another video. Bye bye bye.